and so many times we've seen a little, I want to say, messy OS grabs. The amount of time that one person will go for it. Fair enough, you're burning it, but you're also giving the opposing team a point on the board. And I think I like what I saw previous with Ramirez, how he went round the back of the OS, went up on top, so he knows he can put shots down from, you know, from that angle, rather than letting them just jump into it. Although I think 2Foxy will be a guy to watch. Him and Jimbo now are the OS Kings. They've got it down, time to a T. Remember, it's on a 1 minute respawn static. As we move forward, you've got to ask. It's obviously in their advantage, but do you think Epsilon will do something different this time around?
I think they might have to. I think they know they've lost the last 2 games. Even if they think that they are the better team, they don't really have a choice here. I think they know that they need to do something different in their strategy, right? Maybe they change how they're setting up for those OSs, but I tell you what, they had full control, current overshield, and they're waiting for the next one, and somehow blew the lead towards the end of the match. So it could be just something as simple as slowing the game down, right, and being a little bit more methodical in those final moments.
I think what will be interesting is if we see one of the teams decide to not go for OS straight off the back and let the other team have it, get the plasma caster and go for the shotgun. If they get the shotgun, that's, for me, straight up, that's your anti-OS weapon. We saw it with Flame Sword when Riot's completely destroyed him up on that red sneaky before on the red balcony. Completely destroyed him with that OS, and he was no shield and still managed to grab a double kill. That thing ends live, so maybe they'll just opt to carry on doing what they're doing. Maybe they'll try to switch it up and do something different. Either way, one team will be walking away as second place after this game. One team will be holding up that check and walking away with first.
That's right. But of course, Sims, you know, grabbing that shotgun when the other team has overshield, certainly easier said than done. If you do have some teammates who are able to take that player out with the assault rifles, say, you might have a little bit more success. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going into a game number 5 here at the Gamescom Invitational. 2 of Europe's top teams, Supremacy and Epsilon Esports, now duking it out. And Game 5 will be Team Slayer on Empire. As you see on your screen, Supremacy has narrowly closed out both of our Empire iterations by a score of 50-42 and 50-48. So the question is, can they do the same here and close out the tournament here in game number 5?
I want to kind of touch on what you mentioned earlier on, Bravo, how you said Epsilon actually... The only people that beat Epsilon on the last Empire were Epsilon. That was a bit of a...
They had that game in the bag.
Yeah. So the question is, have they got the game in the bag this time? Was that just a fluke? They know they certainly won't be doing that again. However, we saw time and time again, there was a big score gap that they did have to bring back.
Oh, yeah, yes, indeed. I mean, we saw some crazy deficits, and we also saw, I mean, Epsilon with that ridiculous comeback earlier on in the tournament. So we know both teams can put points on the board when they need to, but the question will be, who can keep up with the overshield better? Last time, we saw the teams neck and neck. I said it over and over again until really the 40 kill mark when Epsilon started to pull away, but then they blew that lead. But question will be, who can keep up with that overshield? It's so demanding every minute. You need to be on top of it. If all 4 players aren't in position, it's going to cost you.
Okay, so things we're going to be keeping out for in this game. We're going to be looking for shotgun use, the OS timing, and of course what you're looking at now, T2 section. You control this T2, especially if you've got an OS, even more so if you've got a shotgun in there. You can just completely lock down and just wait for the wave after wave of the enemy team coming towards you. Plasma caster, again, we saw Chalky using this in one of the previous games, getting so many hit markers on Optic Game, and he was just literally firing it pretty much off of the spawn right now. You know what, let's jump on board with Chalky. We keep talking about him for a while. Let's kick game number 5 off. People in the audience, make some noise. It's the grand finals. Tweet the stream, ladies and gentlemen. 2 of Europe's finest teams battling out in game 5 to take the Gamescom Championship. Here we go now. We've got the OS on spawn. 1 goes down, 1-on-1 for either team at the moment. Chalky backing off. He knows he's no shield at the moment in time. Still challenging though for that OS. However, Snipe Drone runs in, picks it up, grabs it. Ramirez comes back, ducks out of the way. You know, 2-2 right now. The scores, we see 3-2 neck and neck as we see shotgun coming out. And it's going to be Chalky on the floor, just backing off as we see backing off, moving it more importantly into the way of Snipe Drum. He's just hovering around. He knows he's around this turbine area. Can he catch him off guard? He's going to translate over across to the blue side.
And looks like Snipe Drone trying to get up there on that ledge, but he's done well to keep a little bit of the overshield, so he can use that and time it with his team to push, but he needs teammates. He can't waste this last quarter overshield.
He needs to make something use of it. He's got the BR now, but again, he's kind of sitting back rather than getting stuck in. With the OS, you want to get stuck in there. You can take beatdowns, you can take shots. You need to break this setup. 6-5 the score, and look who's got control of T-Tower. It's Supremacy once again. I'm not entirely sure who's got shotgun. That'll be an interesting one if Supremacy have taken it back to the T side. At the moment, Snipe Drone has done absolutely nothing with the OS Bravo.
I was going to say the same thing. There came a moment where he realized he has to start moving. He can't wait to try to take advantage of his overshield. He actually has to start moving to help his teammates, but he will get that distraction medal, so that'll help him out a bit. But the new overshield Sims has dropped, and it went to Chalky.
However, Snipe Drone is completely ripping it, just destroys Chalky to take it to 9-8 now. 10:30 on the clock at the moment, going one-on-one. He does get shut down by Ramirez, however. Move across the Jimbo right now. He's got the SMG. He's one shot, just battling his way out of there. Jumping up, trying to make his way to T3. Somehow does the T1 drop. Manages to somehow get away. One shot. There's Ramirez who'll come in, fussing one shot again. How the hell is Jimbo surviving?
I mean, excellent use of the Spartan abilities is one thing. He's also keeping his back to the wall as much as he can as he goes around this bottom of the map. Look at this, using the SMG to the max.
This is Jimbo just making and raising that score gap right there, using best work of the Clamber, just going between T1, T2 and T3 from the front. Finds Ramirez dropping down, completely destroys him with that SMG. The SMG proving to be one of the strongest weapons on this map.
And he's getting ready for that new overshield. It's going to be dropping right around the 9:42 mark, so get ready for that. Of course, Epsilon could pull away with this and turn the score around on Supremacy, who have won the last 2 iterations here.
Oh, he takes down Jockey, but unfortunately just runs out of ammo, but he does get a kill back. Moving forward now, Ramirez DMR in the hand, 12-16. Moving forward, he's 4 kills down. He's got himself a DMR. Look to see him whip out. Oh, that was a great shot across the map there. Puts grenades in, no hit markers, but there are 2 players there. There's Book 57. Takes him. No, he doesn't take him down. No idea how he managed to survive there. Looking across, we see somebody on the catwalk jumping in from the sneaky. That's going to be Book 20 who takes down his teammate. Not enough supporting time. 4 kill game. 9 minutes 10 remaining. Bravo.
And finally, I don't know how Ramirez is still alive here. Like you said, it's a 3-kill game. Supremacy's last overshield grab was absolutely massive, and obviously the next one will be as well. That'll be in about 20 seconds.
Moving round now, Ramirez still just haunting Epsilon Dreams with that DMR, locking down this T. However, they don't really need to push T-Tower. They just need to wait. Book 57 giving a little bit of a Spartan bash there, almost taking down one player, but Ramirez helps him out. That would have been dangerous for him. Turns around now, Jimbo says no, shuts down Ramirez. 18-21, still neck and neck near enough and everything to play for. Snipe Drone though, in with the SMG, takes down Riot, cleans him up and takes control of T-Tower.
And off screen we do have 2 Foxy on the other side of the stage now with the overshield in hand. So 2 Foxy and crew are going to be looking to do some damage, but he was already taken out. We won't even switch to his screen, Sims. So Epsilon Esports doing an excellent job to shut down that overshield play. They now have a 3-kill lead.
But here's Snipe Drone with the shotgun again. Grenade comes in, just going to get his shields back. If anyone drops down there, they're going to get a face full of lead as he works his way back up to T3 from T2. Looking for that enemy play. He knows he's there, trying to give his teammates support. He's only got an SMG. When you scope in, it does do damage, but not as much as he needs to, as he has another player. 26-21, a 5-kill lead now for Epsilon Esports.
That's right, and the next overshield is going to be dropping in about 25 seconds or so, so we'll keep a very close eye on that, because if Supremacy is able to grab it, of course, that could get them back in this match. But on the other side, if Epsilon continues control, that'll only increase their score further.
Epsilon warming up, 28-22, 7:40 on the clock. They know they have all the power weapon control. The OS is going to be dropping any second, and here comes Snipe Drone with the push. There are 2 players dropping down from Turbine. This will be an interesting one as it now drops. He picks it up, plants it in his chest, and turns around with the shotgun. What an amazing play from Snipe Drone.
Yes, indeed. So just to remind you, Epsilon has so far lost our 2 matches here on on Empire. However, they are winning here with continuous map control, up 32-23 over Supremacy, who up until this point have not dropped the game on this map.
Snipe Drone just holding all the goodies. He's got the shotgun. He's got not doing a lot of work with the OS, but you know what? It doesn't matter. He's got it. The other team hasn't. Even if you're not getting the kills, he's making sure the other team damn well do not. 33-25. The score gap just keeps getting bigger and bigger, Bravo. They need to do some serious work if they want to bring this back. However, they can take control of T-Tower, but you know what? They don't even need to go to T-Tower. But Snipe Drone says, yes, I'm going to fly in. He's got the OS. He's got the shotgun. He can literally own this entire section.
This position, right? He just sits down there and waits for the right time to push up. All he sees, though, are dead blue bodies around, though, so he's going to have to continue on to find some players to engage.
I like how he just tapped the trigger, just put a couple of shots on him, jumping up now. Shotguns, that's going to be Chalky. Sits him down at the moment.
That play. Look at that. He just pops in the window and then pops right back out. Gives Supremacy almost no chance to see where he's going, right?
Looking for this player jumping up from T side. I believe he's actually fallen back to T. Sees the shotgun guy. Will he get the kill? He does indeed. Foxy has OS, but he doesn't know anything at all. 6-kill game now. He opts to switch out for a BI, which is an interesting player.
That was a big kill. Foxy with the overshield was trying to get Supremacy back in this match, but Epsilon Esports, their control is too great here. Could they dethrone the current European champions? As a reminder, Supremacy is undefeated in Europe for the last year.
Finally, someone has taken down Snipe Drone, so the shotgun will transfer across. Remember, Supremacy were down previous in our last Empire game, and they still came back and won it 33-38. It's not over yet. There's still 5 minutes and 40 remaining. However, his teammate at the moment is putting some serious plasma grenades in with that gun, and then we see Foxy cleaning it up at the moment. 35-38. Supremacy coming back, Bravo.
That's right, they are indeed. We saw them do this once before. We know their late game here on Empire is very strong, as that overshield's going to drop in just a moment.
And there we see it now. Foxy plants it in his chest. 35-40. Can he clean up this kill to make it down? Turns around. Will he get it against the back? Unfortunately, 36-31. 37-42. That would have been big for Supremacy, but they shut down Foxy just as soon as he grabs it.
That's a big play from Epsilon. What a way to bait that player bottom middle who jumped out with no shield. You saw he turned all the way around to get the kill, but that exposed his back. They get the backwagon assassination to eliminate that player, so Epsilon will maintain control of the lead.
Ramirez just hiding down. 38-43. 5 minutes on the clock. Hides round Jimbo. Jimbo gets sat down. 39-43. 4-kill game. Remember, this is do or die, guys. As we can see on screen at the moment, the players are super pumped. Very concentrated. 43-39. 4 kills. 4:40 on the clock. It's all going a little bit more slowed down, though, Brad. Right. I've got to say, they know what's at stake here.
The 2 players just fell down. We do have Buck 20 with the DMR in hand, but it looks like now 40-44 in favor of Epsilon.
2 players, 1 shot, getting their shields back. Ramirez wandering around. Knows he needs to survive. 4:20 on the clock. 4-kill game. Still, OS is dropping. A grenade is on the floor, though. Somehow survives it, though, Bravo.
And I got to excuse myself there. Obviously, the Epsilon, they're still with the lead now, 40-46. So looks like Ramirez needs to do something right here and right now.
He got the beat down on the one. Will he get that kill? That's going to be a big one for him as he backs off. Manages to get the reversal medal as well. Stayed alive with the OS, but unfortunately gets shut down. 6 kills down, though, Bravo. Only 3 kills remaining for Epsilon as we see Snipe Drone going down and choking with the shotgun. That's going to pass it over now, but we see Buck 57 running in to help support his teammates at this moment in time. Grenade goes down. 47-43. Buck 57's actually caught off guard. 44-47 now. Bravo, this is still neck and neck in anyone's game.
Oh, that's right. Supremacy could still get this, but they're going to need to slow things down and get control of this next overshield, but it won't be easy. They cannot give up any free kills.
3 minutes 33 remaining. Everything to play for. Everything's kind of slowed down, but we know how fast Halo 5 Guardians is played. Buck 20 now hanging around the T3 section with the DMR, just looking to put some shots across. Finds a player on top Turbine. That's going to be Chalky. Chalky needs to be careful, otherwise he's going to get shut down. Still a 3-kill game at the moment in time.
A bit Snipe Drone who grabs the overshield. This might be it. Epsilon could take the game.
Oh no, he actually goes down, but 49-45. Epsilon only need 1 more. They know they only need 1 kill. They're all rallying at this moment in time. 3 minutes remaining, only 1 kill in it. They will take away the Grand Championship if they get this kill. 2 players there at the moment in time as he jumps up. He knows.
Oh my gosh.
This is. 1 player's there, and they do. They get it in the end. Epsilon take the Gamescom Championship and become the world's first Halo 5 Guardians champions. Well done to them.
Yes, indeed. Epsilon, of course, like we said, shutting down the team that was undefeated in Europe since last year's Gamescom Invitational. But they're now the biggest name in Europe here. Epsilon Esports heading into Halo 5 Guardians will be known as the top squad.
We have to give commiserations, to Supremacy. They put up a hell of a fight to come in with some of the players not even playing the beta, to come in there and to take Epsilon to Game 5. They played out of their minds. Guys, please give it up for both of our teams here today. They put on an amazing show. But you know what? They've fallen. We have now crowned a new champion of Gamescom.
I have to say, yes. Although all odds might have been against them, if you looked at the series score prior to that, it looked like Empire belonged to Supremacy, but Epsilon turned it up. And that was the question. Which team will steal the map from the other team, right? Which team will take them out on the map that they know that the other team is so good at? And it looked like Supremacy might have the upper edge on Empire, but was not the case. Epsilon pulling out all the stops. And I think Anytime the Supremacy started to get even a little bit of control, Epsilon started to pull away more and more.
The amount of times we saw the shotgun going back and forth, but at the end it all came down to that SMG control. Two players just took control of SMG and just whitewashed, completely did Supremacy at the end there. We saw time and time again, though, people just grenade in the OS.
Yep.
Even they knew it were coming up, chuck some grenades on. If I'm not going to get it, no one else is. And that kind of played a vital part. But again, snipe drone, OS, and shotgun. This event has clutched up. And you know what? It's a four-man game at the end of the day, but some big players from snipe drone this event.
I got to, of course, thank everyone that made this possible. First and foremost, all of you watching at home and here in the ESL Arena, thank you so much for joining us and for this presentation here and this preview of what's to come in Halo 5 Guardians. I also want to thank our players on stage who put on such a performance, showing off just a little bit of what to expect in Halo 5. Some excellent use of the Spartan abilities, but I'm sure there's even so much more on the way. Of course, also thanks to everyone on Xbox, Twitch, and ESL for making this event here possible. As a reminder, Halo 5 Guardians launches on October 27th, and if you missed any of this event, you can catch the VOD within the next few days on the Halo channel. For Richard Sims, I'm Andy Brobodzinski. Now back over to you, Paula.
Almost.